Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I thought it was about time I did my review for XCOM 2. It's only been out, what, 3 years? Well, seriously though, I'm a huge fan of the XCOM series. I remember playing the original XCOMs way back on PlayStation 1. And absolutely loved the game they were trying to create, even though those games were fairly flawed and brutally hard. But I love tactical strategy type games like this. When they're done right, they can be hugely engaging and a huge amount of fun. So several years ago, when they released the first XCOM on the last consoles, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, etc., I was absolutely delighted, and I played and enjoyed that game immensely. I thought it was a perfect update for the series. I thought they did a fantastic job, and I had a lot of fun with it. And XCOM 2 was released. When was it? Was it 2016? I'm not so sure now. And when I got it, when it was released, I initially enjoyed it tremendously, but I found the menu system, the map system, all a bit frustrating and a bit annoying, and I just couldn't get into it particularly. So I never ended up finishing the game. I only did about a quarter of the game. And even though I love the combat and the squad elements and the research and all that kind of stuff, all the classic XCOM stuff, there were elements of it I wasn't particularly impressed with. And by that I mean like the map system and the way the game progressed. It kind of pushed you into missions, and because if you didn't, the aliens were going to eventually win. It kind of, I felt like it was rushing me, and I don't like to be rushed in games like this. So like I said, I never actually finished it first time round. But a few weeks ago, it was in the Easter sale actually, in the PlayStation Store. It was up at a really cheap price. I don't even remember how much I paid for it, but I think it was less than £10. So I thought it's worth buying for £10. And then I thought, shall I go the whole hog and get all the DLC with it? Well, I didn't do that. I didn't get the War of the Chosen because that I thought was still a bit expensive. I thought I'd wait until that dropped even more. But I did get the DLC with it. I got the Alien Hunter DLC and the Anarchy's Children DLC and Shen's Last Gift DLC. They're all bundled together and at a fairly cheap price, similar to what I paid for the game. So I thought, well, I'll get the whole hog. I'll get all the DLC, the majority of the DLC with it as well, and see how that fares. And after giving it another attempt, this game, I have now completed it, and I had a ball. I really, really did. I really, really enjoyed it. I managed to get used to the UI and the menu system, and the dark event system, where I felt like it was rushing me before, like for the Avatar project stuff. There's a system in the game where the aliens are building this secret Avatar project, and if you don't deal with certain missions at certain times, the Avatar project will advance. And if you see that red bar at the top there, if it gets right to the top, you've had it basically. It's game over, pretty much. And like I said previously, I always felt it was rushing me, because I always like the time to do the missions when I want to do them, generally speaking, in games like this, and research every last thing I can, and I didn't feel as though it was doing it before. And while I still feel as though that's a bit of a problem with this game, I managed to get a grip on it a bit more second time round. And once you do get a grip on it and you do certain missions to keep that Avatar project at about the halfway level throughout, it does allow you time to do the things you want to do. So you can see the squad there that I've got. Some of that is with the DLC. You can see like the robot thing on the left there, and you can see someone wearing snake skin there. That's all part of the DLC. So if you just bought the base game, you wouldn't have them stuff. But if you got like the Alien Hunter DLC and Shen's Last Gift DLC, you get access to those outfits and the robot companion and things for the squad. And for those that don't know, in regards to XCOM, what's it about? Well, essentially the Earth has been invaded by aliens. In the last game, you are the Resistance basically, and in the last game, they kind of ignore the outcome of the last game, because in this game, the aliens have won. It's like 20 years later. They've kind of, it's a bit like V, if you know the miniseries V. The aliens have kind of taken over the world in a nice, what would seem to be a friendly manner, but actually under the surface they are harvesting humans and doing all the nasty alien stuff that you would expect them to do. And you are the Resistance, and it's your job to put a stop to them. So you have to go on key missions with your squad, and you start off with a squad size of 4 and you can expand that to a squad size of 6. And you go on these missions, and they vary from a number of things. Rescue missions to blowing up buildings, like recon missions, things like that. And just full on battles. And you get to choose your squad. Now you get to customize them however you want. You can name them however you want, and the customizable options are really pretty vast, so you can make them all look and feel differently. You've got anything from like rangers to grenadiers who carry the heavy weapons. You've got specialists who have them, like you can see there on the screen, have them like things flying above them that can aid the teams. You've got snipers. There's a whole array of different soldiers that you can choose from to go in your squad, male or female, and you can name them whoever you want. And I'll name them after like celebrities like Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth, and wrestlers like Dean Ambrose, people like that, just for fun. And I'll always put me in the squad. And the great thing about XCOM is you've always got that personal, you feel like you've got this personal relationship to the soldiers. So when you lose a soldier, and you will lose soldiers, it really stings and it really hurts, because you could spend a lot of time building them soldiers up to be like these epic super soldiers, and they could essentially be killed at any time. So you really do have that deep connection with your soldiers, which has always been the genius part of this game. The story is pretty good. Like I say, you're the Resistance. You're on this huge airship flying around, trying to establish connections to the Resistance all around the world, and building up enough strength to eventually do a full-on attack on the aliens to try and win back the Earth, basically. So it's fairly standard stuff. It's the same story it's always been, really. Nothing special, but it does keep you interested. There's some great cutscenes throughout that are really well done, really well voice acted, and it's a pretty good and exciting story, and it always keeps you interested throughout. But the best part of this game is almost the simplicity of it. You know, you can literally spend hours customizing your squad, researching new weapons, new armor, new whatever, all sorts of things. You can spend hours customizing your ship, opening new rooms, specialist rooms where you can train your soldiers, where you can research new things faster. And some missions you'll go on, you'll rescue engineers or scientists, which will help you in the long run, because engineers will speed up engineering projects, scientists will speed up scientific projects. And you always feel like you're kind of rushed here. So the more engineers and scientists you've got, it'll cut down on those times pretty significantly. But ultimately, I have to say, guys, if you're a fan of like action strategy games, this is an absolute must buy. I had an absolute ball with this game, and for me, it's a clear, I would say, 9 out of 10. This game, it's hugely entertaining, it's engaging, it's huge. You can be playing this for 30, 40, 50 hours potentially, even longer if you want to take longer, because when you get near the final missions, you can either top the game off and finish the missions, or you can basically just keep expanding it and extending it, so you can research everything you want to research, and get as powerful as you want to get. So it does get to the point where early on you feel like you're rushed. At the end, you can kind of put the brakes on a little bit in this game. So for me, guys, it's an absolute must buy, this game. I really can't wait if they make a new one. I suspect they will, because this was incredibly successful, is my understanding. And for me, I will definitely be playing this again. I'll be waiting while the War of the Chosen DLC drops even more in price, and I'll be buying that and replaying the game using the War of the Chosen DLC. So for me, guys, definitely it's worth a buy. Go out and buy it. You won't be disappointed if this is your sort of game. If you're a Call of Duty type player and you like fast-paced games like that, then I would avoid it if I was you. But if you like a good strategy game that really engages you, highly recommend this, guys. 9 out of 10. XCOM 2, fantastic stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody.